First came the ICOs, then it was DeFi, then meme coins, now it's NFTs. But the million-dollar question on my mind is, what's next? Are DAOs the next 100x opportunity? Well, in this video, we're gonna explore that very question and share my take on whether or not they could be the next huge opportunity. So if you're a savvy investor looking for unique theses that could lead to outsized gains, then this video is for you. Strap in, my friend, and let's roll the intro. I'm a little bit ashamed to admit this. I've been in the crypto world for 4 years now and invested in a lot of different projects, but I've never gotten that elusive 100x gains for any of them. There's still hope though, since this cycle is not over yet. And I maintain that all it takes is 3 things: a proper thesis, some conviction, and a little bit of luck. Because we've seen crypto go through these intense hype cycles over and over again. And for early investors, that means 100 to 1000x gains in a short period of time. So we just have to formulate a thesis of what comes next and execute our strategy properly, even though people may think we're crazy in the early days. So as for what might come next, there are a ton of different possibilities. It could be DAOs or DeFi derivatives or layer 2 projects. Heck, I don't have a crystal ball, so I can't tell you for sure. But in this video, I want to focus on DAOs because I think they are one of the most promising candidates for the next hot sector in crypto. So we're going to go over what they are, give you some examples, why they have tokens, and why those may rocket in the future. Oh, and I left you timestamps as well if you want to jump around, but I definitely recommend you to watch the whole thing to get a deeper understanding of this market opportunity. All right, so first, what is a DAO anyways? Well, it stands for Decentralized Autonomous Organization. That's definitely a mouthful, but basically it's an organization run on the internet that has its rules and structure written in code rather than on a piece of paper. So instead of having a single CEO or board of directors steer the ship, DAOs are collectively owned and managed by its members. But it doesn't even need to be a company really. It could just be a group of people who want to pursue some goal together, and they use this blockchain structure called a DAO to do so. You can use DAOs to finance projects, govern communities, share value. Honestly, the possibilities are endless because DAOs are a general and flexible technology. Usually DAOs do involve money though, in the form of crypto assets. Like people send money into the DAO, and then how that money is utilized or distributed depends on the smart contract and what the community wants to do. Here's an easy example to help wrap your head around this concept better. Let's say you're part of a DAO and you have an idea for a project that could benefit the group or push towards your common goal, like build a new website as an example. So you submit a proposal for the community and also attach a price for your plan. The group votes on it, and if it passes, the fund would automatically transfer from the DAO's reserves to the wallet address you specify. It's really that simple. Now I know some of y'all are already itching to invest in DAOs and wondering how you can do so. Well, you are in luck because usually there's a token involved. Most DAOs have their own governance token that they use to incentivize people to participate and do stuff that benefits the group. If you hold their token, you can submit proposals, vote on them, get a cut of the fees, or whatever the group decides. And if you think about it, this is super powerful because by having a token that rewards good behavior, DAOs can kickstart their own flywheel, right? Like people get these tokens when they participate, and then the value of their bags goes up if they help spread the word or use it more. So that's exactly what they do. It also makes participants have skin in the game because if you hold more tokens, you get more of a say in what the DAO does next. Usually the DAOs who create these tokens label them as worthless for regulatory reasons. But a strong secondary market forms organically, like on DEXs. So that's how their value is determined in the open market. Okay, before we move on, let's take a step back and think about where DAOs fit in the wonderful world of crypto. If DeFi is programmable money and NFTs are programmable JPEGs or clips, then you can think of DAOs as programmable organizations. Like DAOs are the groups that utilize all the tools and protocols to do stuff. They are the how, and everything else like NFTs, DeFi, those are the what. This is why we see more and more projects in the crypto space either start off as a DAO or evolve to become one. But why do they want to be one though? Well, there are a ton of benefits. Like for one, DAOs utilize blockchain, so they are fully transparent and everyone can audit them. This is amazing for organizations like charities because you can easily spot any misappropriation generation of funds. And you could also check how much someone is getting paid and make sure everything is kosher. Another benefit of running on blockchains is that anyone around the world can participate. It's permissionless to spin up a DAO or join one. And there's not a high barrier to entry, like you don't have to be an official employee in order to contribute. Heck, someone could even participate completely anonymously if they wanted to. The second thing is that DAOs are governed by code. This means you can't just change the rules willy-nilly unless the group votes on it first. It also means things are more efficient because the smart contracts can execute the business logic automatically. And finally, it means that DAOs are much easier and faster to spin up than official corporate structure. Now, the third piece is the token that DAOs have. This is powerful because DAOs can distribute their ownership by giving out tokens, which keeps everyone aligned, whether you are an investor, operator, or user. It can also supercharge the group's network effects with real financial incentives. And by letting token holders vote on proposals, DAOs can take a much more democratic approach than traditional businesses. So by now you can probably see why DAOs make so much sense for crypto projects to utilize. They can decentralize their governance and have powerful built-in incentives that help grow the protocol. But I have to warn you, it's not all rainbows and roses though. They do have some drawbacks as well. Like they are vulnerable to collusion and oligarchy because whales who hold a lot of tokens could dominate the governance process or could abuse a DAO for their own financial gain. But as long as the token supply is distributed widely, this shouldn't be that big of a problem. Another hurdle for DAOs is that the structure puts most of the focus on the financial aspect of the group and could prevent or dampen any non-financial value that the group may care about. Like for example, a DAO could be focused on saving the environment, but then later people vote to invest in an oil drilling company instead. There's nothing really that prevents that from happening. You just gotta hope that the community's shared consensus is strong. And the last issue is that DAOs live in a regulatory gray zone, which is not surprising to me. This is crypto after all. But there is some hope that DAO tokens are not securities because everyone helps grow the value of the token and it's not just one entity. But of course, we're gonna have to wait and see on what the SEC or courts decide. Now for the fun part. What are all the different types of DAOs out there? Because boy oh boy, there are a ton of different types. I did say earlier that DAOs are extremely flexible after all and can represent many different types of organizations. The first type are your investor DAOs. Basically, you pool your money together and collectively invest in different opportunities. The group votes on what to fund, and if it generates returns, then you split that up accordingly. The first DAO ever was actually this type of DAO. It was called the DAO, and it got hacked, which led to the split of Ethereum and Ethereum Classic. Nowadays, there are things like the LAO, Gitcoin, and BitDAO that fund crypto projects. And we even have DAOs like Flamingo and Whale that purchase NFTs together. Pleaser DAO is a cool one here because they came together to purchase People Pleaser's Uniswap NFT and also Edward Snowden's NFT because they wanted those special ones to, quote, belong to the people. The second type are protocol DAOs. These are crypto projects where their protocol is governed by their token holders. Decisions such as which upgrades to do, how to adjust the rates, or whether or not to split the fees are all decided by the members of the DAO. A lot of blue chip projects actually take this approach, such as Compound Finance, MakerDAO, and Uniswap. The third type are our social DAOs. These are communities that are built around a token. A great example of this is called Friends with Benefits, where you need to hold their FWB token before you can enter their community. They do a bunch of stuff like host in-person events, create their own NFTs, curate content, and so forth. But essentially their token is for access to their exclusive group. And if their members work hard to improve the group, the token price should increase because other people see the cool stuff they're doing and are like, dang, I want to participate, so I need to buy the token. These types of DAOs are incredibly powerful because they are arguably the most aligned with the spirit of DAOs. What I mean by this is that groups are created organically from a bottom-up approach, rather than a top-down where one entity forms the DAO and leads everything, which kind of defeats the purpose. Last but not least, the fourth type of DAOs are creator DAOs. These are where creators or influencers form a DAO with their fans so that your fans can invest in you and share in your potential upside rather than just passively subscribe. There's not too many examples of this right now, but as a creator, I think this has huge promise because then our true fans have an even stronger incentive to help us grow. AKA they would make money. And it also keeps creators more aligned with their audience long term. But even beyond crypto, any company can be a DAO really. Like we saw Shapeshift become a DAO to escape the regulations that were crippling their business. and other companies are likely to follow as well. Just think about social media giants Twitter or Facebook. How different would they be if they were set up like a DAO and owned by their users? Probably so different it would be unrecognizable. Alright, it's time to rewind back to our initial question. Are DAOs the next $1 million opportunity? I say absolutely they could be, and here are 3 reasons why, plus my top DAOs to keep our eyes on in the coming months. First, there are a bunch of promising use cases. I think DeFi protocol governance and investment clubs make a ton of sense. But personally, I'm most excited about creator DAOs and tokenized communities where the direction of the DAO is determined by the people for the people. And it's not only limited to those 4 categories either. Like I said, DAOs are a flexible technology, so it's only bounded by our creativity. Second, some DAOs already generate impressive cash flow through their protocol and manage a large treasury. This gives them cold hard numbers that makes it easier to value their tokens through traditional financial methods. Just look at these stats from DeepDAO. Their dashboard shows that DAOs collectively manage billions of dollars in their treasuries, and the total members chart is going up and to the right as well. But even for the more grassroots DAOs, they have started to generate revenue through their community projects. So if that starts trickling down to their members through token distributions, reimbursements, or whatnot, it could also help give their token real hard value and not just be a community premium. Third, the infrastructure for DAOs are improving rapidly. These are tools that make it easy peasy to spin up and manage your own DAO. Here's a great graphic from _VC showing some tools for DAOs. And here's a tweet by Lewis which shows the stack of tools that DAOs typically use for their various functions like communications, voting, and so forth. If DAOs are to pop off in the future, we're gonna need more of these tools to make adoption easy. As for my top projects to keep an eye on, I like Friends with Benefits, BitDAO, and Rally. Actually, this is quite funny because I bought FWB tokens early on, but I sold it before I thought more carefully about this space. 10x gains later and I'm full of regret. I wish I didn't sell them so soon. But besides just buying tokens, you can also just join DAOs and contribute with your own skills. Many people have joined, built up trust, and then got a token allocation from them to work on some project that they propose. That's the awesome nature of DAOs. It's open to anyone. Just join one that you like, be active, and see what happens. It could turn out to be your best decision of your crypto journey. By the way, this is a new series called $1 Million Opportunities where I evaluate different verticals in crypto that I think may pop off next. I want to ask you though, do you like this new series? Please let me know down in the comments if you do, and also which category you'd like me to cover next. I'm Kevin from Coinsider, can't wait to see you on the next one, and cheers!